J-Talk Podcast. Welcome to the cafe.
Real talk. Real people. Real situation.
Welcome, J-Talk Podcast, Real Talk, Real People, Real Situations. Here we are. Again. We are back. We are back with none other than the one, the only, the Horsemen are here.
Thank goodness.
The Horsemen are here. Pastor Park is back in the studio with us one more time. We so excited, man. I think we solved some world problems, man. We got Facebook with us. Facebook is with us. They will be with us for the entirety of this. So, hey, welcome, y'all.
Hello, Facebook.
Yep. Welcome. So, man, here we are.
Yes.
Here we are.
With a lot going on.
A lot going on. Hey, listen, tune in. Y'all are tuning in right now. Got some comments. Shoot the comments to us. And rest assured, we're going to try our best to see what's going on. What's going on?
Yeah, a lot.
What's going on?
Man, it's so much going on, not only in the country, but also in our communities. And
man.
We just have to try to get through the best we can.
Yeah.
This is where that sign comes in handy.
Tough times. What? Don't last. Tough people do. Tough people do. Y'all, listen, we are back in the cafe, man. Tonight, we did a little post, and it's gonna be real tonight. We're gonna talk tonight. I said before, and I'll say it again, is that if you don't say something, you're the problem.
Correct.
If you don't say something, you're the problem.
Correct.
You close mouth, and you don't want to, I don't want to start no trouble up. Then if it was people who didn't want to start trouble up, we will still be, we will still be where we would be. You know
right.
what I'm saying? If not, So, first of all, before we jump into that, man, listen, just feedback. We had, let me start by saying, man, we had an awesome time this past Sunday, man. We had the children's choir, man, from Uganda, man.
Yeah, I got a chance to see that online.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Man, listen.
Yes.
It was absolutely crazy, man. Those kids blessed us, man. And it was so fun. I told them they were doing their dancing, they worshiping and dancing and stuff like that. And I told them, I said, look, y'all been mad at me. I said I wouldn't have made it past the first song. First dance. Nah. I told them, first dance, I'd have been out.
Yeah.
Yeah, halfway in there,
they were so energetic.
They would have kicked me clean slap out the choir. They would say, you have to go. You're not fit for.
You can't keep up.
You're not fit for this. They would have told me that I wasn't fit for this, and I'd be like, well, you're right, and I would want to know about my business.
I tell you what was even more impactful was the testimony.
Man,
that was real.
Listen. If y'all have not seen it, man, go to New Fellowship page. Matter of fact, go to my page if you want to, and you'll see. I try to put some of those testimonies on there as well, man. But their testimonies, man, these kids,
they were impactful.
And to be praising and worshiping
the way they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for those who's wondering, it's called Baraka Children's Choir. So if you just go look online for Baraka Children's Choir, and you definitely could be able to make contributions to them. It's really like an orphanage. They've taken them all in.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were sick and ill and things like that, and they've taken them in, loved on them, got them back healthy, and well, you saw the product of
Right.
that. And they've been
Right.
going around. They've been going around. Matter of fact, they were going to Houston. They were leaving for Houston when after they left us. They were going to Houston. Yeah, they were going to Houston. So, but we didn't want them to leave. Like seriously, like seriously.
I had one of my members was very taken with that.
Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, she posted everything that you posted on our page.
Amen.
So that tells you something.
Amen.
That tells you
Amen.
something. So
Amen.
they were really touching some souls
That's
with
good.
what they
That's,
did.
Yeah, they really did. And we had, like I say, the pictures don't give it justice, man. My wife, and I could see it on her face, like she was losing a kid. She was like, "You want them to stay?" I'm like, "No, baby, they gotta go." I mean, we just like that, and they came in and just, loved all on us, man.
Mhm.
All the way to the end, man. All the way to the car when they were leaving. We was in the parking lot hugging, like, "No, man,
Don't go.
don't go." So we were, it was very awesome, man. And I think they're trying to do Pastor Lumpkin. Big shout out to Pastor Lumpkin. Pastor Lumpkin has traveled over there and kind of been our liaison between us and them.
Mhm.
And they're talking about doing a citywide.
Yes.
So
yes.
so not this church, that church, and that church. They're talking about like Palestine Auditorium. Everybody come and
Well,
just
whatever we can do to kind of
Man.
assist with that, just let us know.
Yeah. So I definitely keep y'all in the loop with that. So, but yeah, if you have not, it's the Baraka Children's Choir. Look them up. Definitely, they will be a blessing. They'll be a blessing to
Thoroughly.
you. Thoroughly a blessing to y'all. Thoroughly a blessing to y'all. So yeah, man, that's what was going on. I wanted to bring that up, man. So, gloves off. First of all, happy Black History Month.
Yes.
Let me start by
Yes.
saying that.
Yes.
Let me be happy Black History Month. Let's get that out the way.
Yes.
Kumbaya. And
we're gonna celebrate us. Yeah.
Celebrate us. Definitely
Yeah.
celebrate us. Let's talk about that first. Yeah, we gotta celebrate us. They got a bunch of stuff that's going on.
Correct.
That's going on around the city, outside of the city. Black History programs. I know we'll be at Jasper Baptist Church on this Sunday.
Yes.
This
Sunday.
Man, time passed fast. This Sunday.
Yes.
This Sunday at 3 o'clock, Jasper Baptist Church. I know we'll be there for their Black History program. And then that following Saturday, which is like the 22nd, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
We're gonna be
22nd.
we'll be at the Palestine Auditorium,
Mm-hmm.
high school auditorium, where they're having a citywide Black History concert,
Yeah.
Black History concert, and so we'll be speaking at that as well. So we're excited about that. We are definitely excited about that getting out there, cause man, I wonder, my kids, we make sure our kids know about Black History, like
Right.
we make sure
Right.
they know about that,
Right. And we have to.
Got
we
to.
have to because they're starting to get that out of the school systems.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way that's going to be passed on, we have to do a better job of passing it on ourselves.
Yeah.
And I do agree that some things we do need to incorporate to within our own cultures
Yeah.
to keep going. But by the same token, I don't think as a nation we can truly understand each other until we understand each other's culture
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
where we came
Yeah.
from and
Yeah.
what we went through.
Yeah.
I think that's what brings us together is when we have a better understanding of
Yeah.
where everybody is coming from and
Yeah.
their perspectives.
And I don't think, and another thing, we have to, we can't, first of all, I'm going to tell you, first of all, if you're just tuning in, get you something to drink. We in the cafe.
Yes, we in the cafe.
Let me say that we're in the cafe. Get you something to drink, get you some coffee, get you whatever. Hey, talk to us, talk back with us tonight. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So, but you are in the cafe on tonight. So, gloves off.
Gloves off.
Let me take them off. Take the gloves off. Listen, first thing, we cannot teach our history through fear.
Correct.
I think that, I know when I was coming up, and we talked about Black history, and I was privileged because at that time Black history was being taught in schools. Okay, that was
Correct.
part of history. It was talking about now. It's slowly just they're taking that taken
away
out-
from it.
away,
Right.
away from it. But when I was told about Black history, I was, we talked about Dr. King, we talked about, Harriet Tubman, we talked about all of them, right?
Right.
And we had to act like them, and we had to put,
Dress like 'em.
them.
Yeah.
You remember that, dress
Yeah.
like them, and,
Yeah.
and do all that,
Yeah.
And those were some good times, you know what I'm saying? But I
Right.
think like now, the way people are trying to teach Black history is like out of fear, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Oh,
Got to
well,
be
you know
real
how they-
careful how you teach.
yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh man, they did us with the dogs. Yes, that's good to know. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about what they did.
Correct.
What we wouldn't have these lights right now if it wasn't for a Black person. We wouldn't have,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? We
Correct.
wouldn't have drove up here if it wasn't for a Black person.
And if
you
you
know,
really be honest, even the cotton gin was relatively because of a Black person. So
correct.
you have to really know. Here's the other thing too. When you are talking about Black history, you got to tell it all. You can't just tell the good parts. You
Mhm.
got to tell the bad
Correct.
parts as well.
Correct.
And you
Correct.
can't be afraid to tell that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't encompass it all, there's no real understanding of what went on.
Correct.
So we have to be thorough in our understanding, just like we talk about Martin Luther King
Yeah.
Jr. and all of that. We got to talk about Nat Turner and all
Correct.
that.
Correct.
What,
Correct.
What went about to bring about all these changes.
Yeah.
So you got to be in depth and you got to be honest about it.
But we got to know it ourselves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We got to know it ourselves, because I truly believe that we are operating in an area where nobody thinks for themselves.
Correct.
We don't think for ourselves anymore. It's more of whatever we see on the news. Whatever the news say, we're good. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like a pattern behavior.
Correct. I mean, number one, because
We'll adjust to whatever the pattern is.
we don't want to read it. We don't.
Correct.
We don't want to read about it. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? If I got to read it, well,
Yeah, that's all right.
yeah. Matter of fact, read it to me. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, but not between these hours and this hours, because my story's on, and
I don't have time.
and hopefully it's no good
Yeah.
show on Netflix. If it is, I got to watch that first. You know what I'm saying?
If it's no good sports
No good
games
sports
on,
on.
yeah.
So, yeah, so we're not really at that point where we would want to know our history, because it takes some doing to look at our history. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? But like you say, you gotta look at the good and you gotta look at the bad. You know, for us to truly understand where we come from.
Correct.
You know, I know growing up, I would hear people say, if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going.
Right.
And part of me was like, okay, that's cute. All right.
Yeah.
As a kid, like, whatever. But it took me getting older to realize what that actually meant.
Correct.
That's telling me that, yes, if I know where I came from,
Mhm.
know what that means I know my DNA. I know what I'm made out of. I
Correct.
know the strength that I actually have in me to be able to talk and stand up for what's right.
Also, I can recognize some of those impediments that can take us back
Yeah.
to where we fought so hard to come from.
Because I don't want you to recognize it. If I'm the enemy, I don't want you to recognize
Correct.
it. That's
Kinda-
the thing.
That's kind of like what Satan does. He don't want you to recognize
What
he's doing.
they say, the biggest thing that Satan did was try to convince people he didn't exist.
Correct.
If you don't know he exists, then hey, it is what it is. But I don't want you to recognize
Yes.
that you are strong. I don't want you to recognize, and I think as parents, as Black parents, we play a part in that.
Correct.
I believe that if you have not taken that, if you can,
Mhm.
okay, and I know finance, but doggone it, we will pay for what we want to pay for,
Correct.
right? It's priority.
Yeah.
If before our eyes close, before your eyes close, your children's eyes close, you have to take your kid to at least 2 places for sure in the
Yes.
United States of America. 2
Yes.
places. If you are African, not even African American, if you are American, period.
Period.
Because white folks got to go too.
Yeah. You
so
need
they
to
can
see
know
your whole history.
And
Thank
and white folks need to go too, so they
Correct.
can realize, oh, so this is why you're acting the way you act. That's
Correct.
why y'all taking it.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's why we take stuff personal.
that's why
Yeah.
we stand outside. We stand outside your building right now protesting because of this right here.
Yes.
They got to go to Smithsonian, the African American Museum in D.C.
Yes.
Got to go to that. Gotta go to Memphis.
Yes.
To the
Gotta go
MLK.
to the Civil Rights Museum in
Gotta-
Alabama too.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Gotta go those places. And I'm gonna tell you, when I did go, it messed me up.
Yes.
I mean, it. Yes, you know history. You know your history, but to walk around and to
literally
see
see it, yeah, that makes a difference.
oh my,
That is impactful.
come on.
And then not only do they give you the visual, but when they replay some of the things that happen,
Man,
that's impactful. That leaves a lasting impression, and you don't leave the same way you went in.
no, you don't. And I think I told y'all this story because I went the first time to the when I was in D.C. Went to the first time and realized that where I was parked at, the meter was gonna run out, and you couldn't add no more money to it, so I had to leave. I was only in there like 20 minutes, and then I had to leave, rush to my car. Still had a ticket on it because I got there too late. Still had a ticket on it. But the next day, I decided to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not going. When we got done. I said, well, I'm not leaving till the next morning anyway. I'm going back.
Right.
Of course, I made sure I parked in the right
Place.
spot.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I didn't park. I Ubered
Mm-hmm.
there, dropped me off, Ubered there, and spent 3 hours. And that's moving fast.
Yes. Yes.
You got 4 hours at least to get to each level in D.C. to the Smithsonian. It's 3 levels. You got to spend time, and then there's a basement.
Smithsonian it takes a lot of time anyway.
Man, and they had this one thing that was, oh my God, it was it was downstairs. It was walking through slavery. So you walk into like what the house would look like,
Right.
the slave house would look like, and you can hear they had the whips playing. You can hear the narration of it, like, and they literally pick you up and dump you in the midst of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm almost in tears. Not talking about it. Was absolutely amazing. And if you have a kid, you have an adult, you have anybody, take them to their Smithsonian Museum in D.C. Please take them to it.
At least
because-
once. At least
Yes.
once. You gotta see it.
She says, Sister Brenda says, MLK Birth Home, Ebenezer Baptist Church. Yes. I mean, those places you got to go to.
Correct.
To get a true feel of your history, because they're trying to take them out of. They're not trying. They're taking them out of. Ain't no
Yes,
trying. They're
yes.
taking them out of the schools.
And what they're trying to do is say that we all need to assimilate together. But as we assimilate together, it's still important that we have an understanding of our diverse backgrounds so that we can assimilate in harmony together. And we can relate to each other better as much as because we know each other better.
Correct. And okay, so let me ask this question then. What is assimilating together going to do? I mean,
Well-
I know we want kumbaya. I know we want to come together.
Right.
Yes, we want unity.
Yes.
But it still can't negate the fact that you have a history.
Correct.
You have a history.
And you
I mean,
can't
everybody has
negate
history.
that.
Everybody
Right.
has history. We have a African American history. You got some people that have a history that was confined within the Confederates.
Right.
Everyone has Native American. They have history. Spanish. They all have a history. You can't
Correct.
forget your history. So I'm still trying to get that part. You can't forget
Well,
your
I
history.
think what the thing is, and this is coming from a biased point of view, I guess, but by the same token, I know we all want to forget about the bad things
Yeah.
that everybody's gone through.
Mhm.
I know we want to forget about that, but that's what helps us be relatable to one another, is when we not only understand the good,
Yeah.
but the bad as well.
Correct.
Because that way, if I understand some of your history,
Yeah.
then I can understand how I need to be cautious in what I say and how I relate to you.
Correct.
And I think that's what gets overlooked in
Yeah.
trying to get past the idea of trying to make somebody feel bad about who they are and
Yeah.
what their culture is, but yet by understanding each other's culture, that helps us better assimilate or come together a lot easier.
Yes, and I, like I say, people want you to forget your history.
Correct.
Because then I can tell you anything I want to tell you.
That's
I can
correct,
literally
and
tell
you'll
you.
believe it.
And you'll believe it. I can tell you anything you want to hear, and you will believe it. And so and then you forget where you come from, and then you forget your identity. Then you forget your own identity.
Correct.
I mean, it's
And that's a disservice to us all.
I mean, if you go, I mean, the who was that? The Kansas City Chiefs. Although they lost the Super Bowl,
Right.
nobody's telling them, hey, forget the other Super Bowls you won.
Yeah. That's correct.
Nobody told the Patriots, hey, we're gonna take away all y'all. Forget the 7 rings, Brady, that you won.
Yep.
No.
You got to remember your history.
Yeah.
You got to.
And then they got the banners hanging to remind them of, hey, this is what it shows them what y'all have done. So it shows you what you can do. Hey, you're a part of the Lakers got banners from one end to the other saying, hey, this is what we were developed. We were built on championships.
And then we've got to also understand that. Listen, we've got to be. If we're not anything else, we've got to be honest.
Yes.
And that's a biblical
What is that?
principle.
What is honesty?
Yeah, that's
What is that? That's extinct.
and
That's almost
getting
extinct.
to the point where that's almost.
How do you
it depends
spell
on
that?
who's saying it.
How do you spell honesty? What is that?
What?
I gotta go to history books to find that. What in the world is honesty?
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We're not a nation of honesty right now.
No, we're not.
We have not been a nation of honesty in a very, very long time. But
Yeah, we've gotten so far from it.
yeah. So before we jump into that, so Black History we got to, and I'm excited that each Sunday we try to highlight people in within Black history,
Right.
And we were challenged one year. One year we were doing Martin Luther King. We were doing all these people, man. It was so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of our members was like, y'all know we got Black history right here in Anderson County.
Correct.
And I'm like, yeah, we do actually. And then I really felt bad because I said, we got Black history right here in this church, right? I'm like, want to get away? Like, want to get away?
Yeah.
And Elder Rodney Howard was sitting right there. Oh, snap. Yeah, we do. So, hey. So, but I'm excited because we're going to highlight him the last Sunday of
Good.
Black
Well
History Month.
deserved.
We're going to. And then, like I said, I was preaching this past Sunday, and I don't know what got into me. Listen, for those who are watching, who tuned in, hey, you're in the cafe, get you something to drink. You're in the cafe, and thank y'all so much who are tuning into the YouTube. I don't know what got into me this past Sunday. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. Listen to me, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't know what got into me. Somebody said something on social media, and I probably shouldn't have saw it. I really think I should have saw it. They were just talking crazy about why do we even have Black history, and I'm sitting there like,
say what?
Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. And you know how you be getting them things, you be praying?
Yeah.
Lord, can you just show me what to say?
Yeah.
Right? Because I still got to be a pastor after I make this statement. I still got to be a leader of the community. And I don't need nobody to say, oh, you heard what Pastor Strange said. I mess around and forget. I mess around and forget. I'm leader or something. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so...
Yeah, but that's easy to do.
And I had to, and I couldn't hold my mule. Well, help me, Shirley Caesar. I couldn't hold my mule. Y'all listen to me. Listen to me. I am saved.
Yes.
I tell people all the time, I'm saved. I'm sanctified. I am filled with the Holy Ghost. I'm even fire baptized. I know I'm going to heaven when I die.
Yeah.
But deliverance from all things is still. Sister Norma Jones says, I'm a straight person. I have grandchildren that are mixed also. I'm sharing our family history with them. Amen. Our sister Norma Johnson says she's mixed. She a mixed family, and she's still sharing the history with them because we got to share that history. We got to share that history.
Yes, you do.
So the Brenda says it's probably holding up. Yeah, mine too. So y'all, hey, pray for all of us, right? Pray for all of us. So we got there, and I was seeing it. I'm like, oh. And I preached this past Sunday. Hold your patience. And I was preaching to myself, man. And I went down a line of talking about Black history and talking about how we got to teach our kids how we don't speak. We're the problem,
Yes.
And I started talking to myself, and of course I had to get on your president. And I was just like, I just went there, and I want to talk about that tonight because I wanted to make sure we got some good information on, because it's easy to call people racist. It's easy.
Right.
That's the easiest thing to do, to call people racist.
Right.
And it's like being in a fight, and you run out of stuff to say. So you know, you always say that one dude that can rank
Right.
like real good, like make
Yes.
people cry.
Yeah.
And you just don't think fast enough to rank with him, and so you just mess around and say, yo mama.
And the truth of the matter is, it really is getting to the point where we really do have to be more thoughtful
Yeah.
in our approaches. But I will say that, sometimes you really do have to remember that even as pastors, as preachers, as ministers, we're still human.
Correct.
So there are still things that affect us.
Yeah.
But we still got to always remember that people are watching.
Yeah.
And Satan always has that one
Yeah.
that he likes to prod you
Yeah.
to see if he can get you out
Yeah.
of character.
I'm sorry. I'm
And
sorry.
and every once in a while, it'll happen. So
Y'all pray for me. I'm sorry.
that's
I'm sorry, but I'm not. I think 'cause I was raised around older people. I was raised around the saints of old. My grandma raised me, so people who I hung around,
hmm
my great aunt, my
Yeah.
great aunt, my great uncle, and watching them. My Aunt Love was 101 years old, man. When she died, she was 101 years old.
That's a
She
blessing.
was I consider my spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
So I hung around these people. So history, black history, man. When Obama and Hillary was going at it with each other,
Right.
man, I was in tears because not for me,
Mhm.
I'm like,
Mhm.
but my grandma.
Right.
I'm like, my grandma actually seeing where it might be a black. She might live to actually see a black president,
Right.
or she might
Right.
live to see the first female president. So it was
Yeah.
like, for me, it was like win-win. I'm like, oh man, how's it gonna go?
Yeah.
And she lived to see a black president.
Yeah, and that's a blessing for
Man.
all of those who came through. You see, I came in. I was born right through the middle, toward the
George
end
what?
of the civil rights.
Oh.
All of that.
I thought you said George
So-
Washington. I thought you said George
No,
Washington.
I wasn't there. I wasn't. I'm old as dirt.
Hey,
but I ain't
Mr.
that old.
I'm sorry again.
That's okay. I understand. But yeah, but one of the things that I remember,
Uh-huh.
and I tell people this all the time, because when you can still see some of Black history here in Palestine. Because like I used to tell our kids at the church, if you ever go down to the Texas Theater downtown where they do the live performances,
My son,
and
we always
you
go to
see
the
that,
plays.
you see that it was some green tile, and in between those green tile, there is a stairwell. Well, that's where when I first started going to the theater when I was old enough to go.
Mhm.
That's where I had to go to watch the movies at. I had to go up that stairwell because I was going to the balcony. I couldn't go through the front doors
Man.
downstairs. I had to go up those stairs and go sit in the balcony.
I gotta show my son that. I gotta show him that we are always at. I try to keep my children with culture and arts and things like that. He's been in a play. He's been in plays at the Texas Theater, which is
Mhm.
amazing. He's been, and been to plays at Texas Theater, and just to see it, the inside, and I looked up there in the balcony one time, like, man, we used to have people had
Sit
to
there.
sit up
Yeah.
there, and now I can sit on the very front row and watch my son
Yes.
up there
Yes.
perform
Yes.
next
a lot
next to
Right. And
some
that's-
white kids,
And that's what we have to always remind our children of.
yeah,
We have to remind them of that time.
yeah,
Because it took some really strong people back then to get us where we are now.
yeah, correct, man,
And you didn't have
Man.
the opportunity to speak like you can speak now.
yeah,
But you have to understand how to speak in a way that is not always confrontation, but you can get your point across.
but you get your point across.
And that's the thing where some of our children, this younger generation, is missing because they don't understand how sometimes you need to learn the game so you can play the game,
Correct.
so you can stay in the game. And I think that's one of the misconceptions that a lot of this younger generation is losing out on
Yeah.
because they don't understand how you have to get to these stages
Mhm.
to where you can become a part of the conversation so you can have a seat at the table
Correct.
to make some changes where changes need to be
Now I think I think we have those and y'all feed in. Let me know those millennials who really, as of lately, are starting to take a front seat within politics and
Correct.
things like that. They're starting to step up,
Yes.
and voice, where their concerns is and things like that, which is absolutely wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
But I will say that, like my son, he's 15 years old.
Hmm.
He doesn't see a good example of how to take criticism properly, how to agree to disagree properly.
That's correct.
Because technically, people today, we cannot disagree,
Yes.
agree
Without
to
falling
disagree
out.
without
Yeah.
falling out.
Correct.
And that's
correct.
what we're seeing right now in the news. We're just seeing in periods that we cannot agree
to
to disagree.
And and what that goes back to is biblically the Bible talks about agree with your adversary quickly while you are yet in the way.
Yeah,
And we've got to understand that in all things we've got to always think as they used to have these wristbands, what would Jesus do?
yeah,
We got to have that kind of mindset to deal with some of this adversity that we've gotten that's grown into our society.
yeah,
Because we've gotten so segregated, we're trying to go back to segregation. Is
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
we're headed.
yeah,
And if we're not careful, and if we don't learn how to keep a seat at the table, that's where we're going to end up.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny you said, it's interesting you said that about going back to segregation. That's one thing that I had said Sunday. Like I said, I went on a rant.
Mhm.
You check it out. I went on soapbox. I doggone it. I had my. We all need to be educated without being jaded. Yes, jaded. So Charles said we all need to be educated without being jaded. Amen. That's true.
Yes.
That's so
Yes.
true. Because when if we aren't educated about it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like nobody, like I said, nobody wants you to tell your story. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying? Because in order for you to tell your story,
Yes.
it might hit me in some places where
I don't want to be hit.
I don't want to be hit.
Yeah.
And it'll make me have to reflect on some things that I don't really
What
want
you
to
wanna
reflect.
reflect
I
on.
want to reflect on.
But here's the other thing, too. Quit being so sensitive
Mhm.
that you get desensitized. Because the interesting part about being able to understand each other's cultures is that makes us more relatable. I
Correct.
can relate to you,
Correct.
you can relate to me.
Correct.
Right? You can understand what upsets me, I can understand what upsets you.
Yeah.
But the absence of that understanding keeps us divided.
Yeah.
And that's why we're so divided as we are now.
Yeah.
Because when we were teaching black history in the schools, even when we integrated, kids began to understand how to relate
Yeah.
to one another.
Mhm.
But when we start taking that out of the schools again, now you see all this division coming back into play.
Yeah.
So we've got to do a better job of understanding how best to have harmony
Correct.
with one another.
And that's that harmony part. That's man, that harmony part. He said something. What was that? I hate even saying that man's name. Elon Musk had told the folks, told the Germans,
Mm-hmm.
those who were Germans, hey, stop beating yourself up. It's over with. Stop beating yourself up. That was in the past.
That's in the past,
That's in the
yeah.
past. Stop beating yourself up. Okay, it still happened.
Yeah.
It still happened. It still happened, and Jews are still looked at crazy
Yes.
today.
Yes.
So I mean, it's
Yes.
not like something that happened now. It's gone. It's almost like somebody been assaulted. And you say, hey, listen, okay, get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
see where y'all are helping me get over this thing. you
Yeah.
know?
It's kind of like the same thing they try to. You cannot whitewash some stuff,
Uh-huh.
and you have to be real about some
Yeah.
stuff. It's just like they tried to whitewash slavery.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth of, yes, there were some benefits that came out of it, but wasn't all because it was good.
Correct.
So we have to understand that there was some real things that happened to people during those times
Yeah.
that was not good.
Correct.
So let's be honest about it. Let's not try to make it like it was all just peaches and cream. Look how much they got out of being slave. No,
Wait, who's that?
but look at what all they went through during slavery.
I don't want to. Y'all can help me out if those who tune in. Help me out. Was that Kanye West or somebody that said that? Who was that said that slavery was a?
Well, the governor of Florida said it.
That was him that said it.
Ron DeSantis.
He said it was slavery.
Yeah, they got benefits from being slaves.
That's exactly what. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Yeah. They got benefits from.
Yes. Yeah.
See, that's the part where my deliverance goes into, you know, if I wouldn't run across them trails.
Here's the other part.
Remember the man through that shoe at Bush when he was like, nah, I gotta take my wife heel and throw that joke. Say what?
Yeah. But then here's the other thing. We've got to do a better job of understanding, too, that we cannot co-sign on some things against our own culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because what he ended up doing after he got some backlash from that, he decided, well, I'll just bring one of them on and let him say it was okay. So he went and found this one person that could agree with him that there were some benefits from it.
Yeah.
And then he co-signed to say that, yeah, there was some benefits. Yeah, but there was a lot of hurt that came from it, too.
Yeah. So the Brandon said, keep them benefits. keep them benefits. But what I don't understand, especially when, okay, prime example, when Trump was running, I don't understand it. When Trump was running, he wanted to get representatives.
Right.
You know, people to represent us.
Right.
And what was killing me was the representatives that he thought represented us.
Yes.
That's gonna make us.
And
So you bring Kanye West. I'm taking y'all gloves are off to.
Yes.
You
Yes.
bring Kanye West ignorant.
Yes. But it's
I don't even really say retarded. I don't even want to say that because that's a down. That's downfall.
That's
Kanye crazy himself to the White House and say, hey, yeah, look. Okay, let me say this.
You make me feel like Superman with this hat on.
Let me say this. And I know this can be a big debate.
Right.
Okay? Let me go on record and say I do not like Trump. I don't like him. Okay? I don't like him. And I was very hesitant on even saying this today, but I feel like, hey, it is what it is,
Well,
okay?
Like you say, gloves off now.
Gloves off. I don't, and like I say, please give me your comments. I don't look at Trump so much as a racist than an opportunist.
Correct.
Who has to win, who is
At anybody's expense.
at anybody's expense.
Correct.
Who is a narcissistic, ultimate narcissistic,
Right.
who has to be worshipped.
Correct.
And that's with anybody.
Correct.
Whatever your color is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's Trump. It's about him.
Right.
Not even his kids. It's about
him.
And it's about they were talking to on the news. They was talking to Bill the dude had a show.
Bill Maher.
They was talking to him. I think that was him. They were good friends, close friends, or whatever. Bill O'Reilly.
Okay.
Bill O'Reilly. They was talking to Bill O'Reilly, and the reason they was talking to him was because they were real close.
Right.
They went to games together. He said he always had to pay, but they went to games together, and he really had a close. Like if they ever did a real story about Trump, they probably would ask him to give they let him to get it back because he really as close as possible. And so, of course, you can't talk about Trump and not bring up race. So, like, hey, so is Trump race? And he said something that really stood out to me. Of course, he mentioned the different, even when Trump back in the day, before he was even president, way back in the day, and the people he had in his circle, and there were black people in his circle, all the millionaires kick it together, Tyson, all the millionaires kick it together, and he had whoever was the big of the bigs were around him. If they were black, Asian, Chinese, whatever, they were all around him.
Correct.
And so he was saying, like, he's not. He said, no, he's just. And Bill, and this out of his mouth. He said, no. He said he just has to win. He said he just has to win, and that's what I thought. And it made me really think, because I watched it because, listen to me. I want to look at Donald J. Trump as a president.
Right.
I got to deal with him for 4 years.
Right.
So in 4 years, I got to somehow figure, how can I look at you as a leader?
Yes.
So let me get past. I want to look past. I want to investigate. I don't want to look past all of this, what people are saying. Oh, well, he's a racist. Oh, okay, but I want to really see behind the scenes
who he is.
He's a narcissistic man that has to win.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, he says some dumb racist stuff.
Yes, he does.
He said some dumb racist stuff that I really think, because he's so narcissistic, normal people would care what they said, but he can't go back. He does not. He'll tell you that he does not believe in apologizing.
Correct. That's correct.
So he flows. He goes off for that teleprompter. I don't even know why they have a teleprompter.
I don't either.
No, I think they just thought that I think the only thing he reads in that teleprompter is "Good evening." I think that's the only thing he reads on the teleprompter. I'm serious, and I think after that, it's
just all off.
It's all off. And so he says stuff, and the media gets him, because they like, so what about the Mexicans? So what are you going to do? Oh, we're gonna get, and we're gonna get rid of them. We're gonna do this or we do that. Oh, and they like, oh really? So they write it down,
right?
And so, but he's not gonna go back and say no, because that means apologizing. It means I was wrong,
right?
He's not gonna say that. He's not gonna say that.
Yeah, and as evidence in that he made so many promises about these mass deportations that he forgot that everybody don't come from Mexico.
Correct.
So now these mass deportations, it has encompassed a lot of these folks that he promised he wasn't going to touch.
Yeah.
And now they getting caught up in this
Venezuela.
too.
Venezuela.
Venezuela
too. They went out. They had that woman on there talking about, we love Donald Trump. Venezuela for Donald Trump. And then next the lady don't talk about, we don't support him. Because Donald Trump,
they used us. They used us.
Because Donald Trump is about winning.
That's correct.
He's about winning.
Yeah.
I don't care what your race. I don't care what nationality you are.
Honestly, it goes out the window when it comes to him having to win something.
Yeah, you and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Y'all come on, comment. Donald Trump's main goal is, I'll be honest with you, his main goal is, it's not to make America great again. No. That's just a slogan that's just took.
That sounds good.
It sounds good.
Correct.
His goal is, y'all ready? This is breaking news. This is breaking news on J Talk Podcast with the Horsemen. Breaking news. All Trump wants is his face chiseled on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. And to have some of his resorts on the over there off where he trying to take over the land he's trying to take over.
Oh, Greenland.
No, not Greenland. Well, Greenland too. He put some on Greenland too, but overseas. Where they fighting right now? He wants to.
Ukraine.
Not Ukraine. The other place. Oh my God.
Israel.
Not Israel.
Gaza.
The Gaza Strip.
There we go.
Gaza Strip. One of the places. Gaza. You've been every last one of them. You've been every last one of them. Gaza Strip. He wants some resorts on Gaza Strip. That's what he wants. That's it. He can care less about all this other stuff. Is just presidential stuff that I told y'all that I'm gonna do. So let me do this because I said I was gonna. I told y'all I was gonna do this. I told y'all I'm kicking all y'all out. I told y'all I'm taking over, and I got to talk about that too. Go ahead. I got to talk about that.
Yeah,
Minister Sue helped me. Thank y'all, Minister Sue. They helped me out, Gaza. They tried to help me out. Yeah, help your pastor out. I was trying. Lord, I was trying hard, y'all. Pray for me.
Yeah, because it was one of them places. We knew that.
Yeah, one of the places.
But the other thing too is he's all like you said. He's an opportunist. So the easiest way for him to control Gaza is to kick everybody that's already in there out. And then he can be selective in who he lets back in.
The other lady asked me, she said, so you going to let him back? It's gonna be very nice, very nice place. Translation: it's gonna be too nice for them.
And then he had to
Y'all
catch
better
himself.
pay attention to this stuff. Yeah, he said, yeah, it's gonna be real nice, real nice place. Yeah. So are you gonna let them back? It's gonna be a very high end, very translation. No, if they can afford it.
Yeah, because they're not coming back unless they can pay me.
Unless they can pay me. And so, if we're gonna talk about, and I said about a bunch of stuff that he has done so far, so, and I say so far because each day could be something else. These are the executive orders that he has signed so far, and it take all day to read all of these.
Yeah,
The
'cause it's
25% tariffs on the foreign steel and aluminum. We know about those things, but if you look at a lot of the stuff that he has signed,
Mm-hmm.
things he has put in place, things he is, moving forward on. This is why I said that I'm not so much on. Good night. I'm not so much on if he's racist or things like that. It's like it's easy to say that, right?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he wants to win.
Correct.
Okay. Everything that he has signed here is his base. Is the people who voted for him. Voted for him. He also wants to go down in history as the greatest president ever to live.
Correct.
Okay, he wants that as well. Matter of fact, he already thinks he's the greatest president to
Yes, he
ever
does.
live.
He says it all the time.
So it's a chess match. It's a chess match that he has in place.
Mm-hmm.
Prime example, he had the teacher come back that was locked up in Russia. Okay,
Right.
Cool, awesome. But does he really care about that?
Mm-mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. I'm sorry, he does not care about that teacher over there. That he brought. That's a photo op. That was a photo op. Yeah, his mama came to me. How many mamas came to you? How many mamas came to you before?
Mm-hmm.
How many folks came to you? So it's all about him.
Mm-hmm.
That was a photo. Y'all look what I did, because the reason I say this is because every time he cannot mention something he's doing without mentioning Biden. He cannot do
Right.
that.
That's
Has
exactly
to be in
right.
the sentence. His
Right.
people have been taught. His vice president been taught. Put that in the sentence.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna establish we're gonna sign a new bill where we have new paper towels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Biden didn't have paper towels like this.
Correct.
His name got to be in it. It has to be in it. Has to be.
Yeah.
So it's about him. Everything he's doing is
Everything is about him.
him.
That's correct.
And I say all that to say is that because it's about him,
Right.
these people who voted for him
Right.
are being affected,
Correct.
and not in a positive way.
And that's exactly the point.
They're being
Because
affected.
The thing is, and this is where, as Americans, we've got to be more informed about this kind of stuff.
Correct.
Because
Correct.
These tariffs that he's talking about
Yeah.
don't just affect the countries that he's
No.
charging.
No.
It affects us as consumers, because that means everything that we have is going to go up in price. So instead of bringing prices down,
Correct.
they're going to, but it'll be Biden's fault.
Correct.
But that's not true.
I don't know if I was in the gym. I was in the gym one day. I don't know if I told you this or not, but I was in the gym, and this white guy was on the treadmill,
Mm-hmm.
and one of his friends was on the other treadmill, and I just knew
Yeah.
how that conversation. Oh, I just knew how that conversation was gonna go. I just knew, and at that time I didn't have my headphones with me, so I'm gonna have to hear all of
listen
this,
to
right?
it, yeah.
And I'm gonna listen to all this, stuff, all this mega stuff,
Yeah.
So he gets up there and he was like, "Yeah, Trump, and I'm sitting there like, oh God, here we go." He said, "Have you seen the cost of them eggs?" Then my ears started listening. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. He said, they don't care about them rich folks. Don't care about our eggs. They don't even have to buy eggs. And I was like, That's not how I expected this. But
To
you know
go,
doggone
yeah.
well who he voted. You know who he voted for.
Yes.
So it's affecting
Yes.
even his base.
Correct.
It's
That's
affecting his
correct.
base. And so I think that we have to look at it for, you cannot, I really truly believe, if you come and tell me about somebody right now, I'm going to have to find out for myself
Right.
that, because you just might have a bad relationship with him. So that's
Right.
how I am. That's how I am. Everybody say what they want to say about Trump. I got to go find, I got to see look behind the scenes and see what you really about.
Right.
So I'm not just going to jump on the bandwagon what everybody else says.
Correct.
Right?
That's correct.
And so that's why I came with the whole thing about the whole racist thing, right?
Right.
Everybody's below him. I don't care what your race is. You are
Right.
below Donald Trump. Period. Okay? He buys people,
Yes.
right? I mean, you
Yes.
got your Secretary of State, who
Yes.
you talked about like a dog.
Dog. Right.
A dog. But you had something you want. So guess what?
Right.
Come on over here. Now you owe me. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Everybody who's you can pay me to work in the White House, and I don't care about how you look at my resume, because everybody who is associated with Donald Trump owes him.
Yes.
It's like signing the contract with the devil. You owe him. Period.
And the case in point, he was trying to get Mayor Adams out of jail. Keep from being prosecuted.
Uh-huh. Yep.
But it didn't come without something being promised back
To him. Correct. That's everything.
Yes. And so you got to look at everything in its totality
Correct.
to get the clear picture of really what's going on.
And that's what I don't understand. That's the part I don't understand. Is that I'm gonna tell you when I know. This is how I knew it was bad, y'all. This is how I knew. Y'all, once again, if you just tuning in, you are in the cafe. We got our Facebook people on with us. You are in the cafe. Get you something to drink.
Yes.
Hey, we are taking the gloves off
tonight.
today. We are taking gloves off today. God, yes, bless America. So, this is what made me officially say, oh my gosh,
Right.
y'all have flipped.
Right.
When McConnell says,
Yes.
I'm
yes,
done.
Yes. That says it all.
When he says, I'm done,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot vote for these people that you're trying to put in these positions.
Yeah.
I can't. And I don't care what, I'm leaving. Matter of fact, people always talk the truth when they leaving.
Yeah.
They always speak the truth. He was there last time Trump was in office.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he made every story he could.
Yes.
So
Trying
now-
to save him.
So now he about to walk out the door. He retired. He about to walk out the door. He like, I can't do this. I can't
Yeah.
vote. Listen, I got nothing to lose. So whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
When Mitch-
I'm
when
gonna
Mitch-
tell the truth.
When Mitch said, I'm done. I can't roll
Yeah.
with you. That's when you know what's the problem.
Right.
So Mitch Republican to the heart.
Yes.
He
Yes,
is his blood
diehard.
is Republican.
Yeah.
His blood is Republican. He died hard.
Yeah.
But Trump has taken that. He has, once again, for the next 4 years, he will take that party hostage.
Yeah.
And that's what Bill O'Reilly said. Bill O'Reilly said, he said, listen, Trump just became Republican. Trump was
Yes.
Democrat when Democrat was popular. He was Democrat then.
If you go back to, I
Come
think it was
on.
93 or 95,
Come on.
when Trump
Come
said
on.
this, he said this, it's in print. You can go back and look it up. He said, if I run, I'm going to run as Republican.
Mhm.
And you know why he said it? Because they're gullible.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Listen.
And
Stop. Stop. Can y'all please stop not listening to Trump? Trump,
Yes.
as crazy as he may be, once again, the gloves are off tonight. As crazy
He's
as this
smart.
man must be,
he sly as a fox.
he slides a fox. But the man gonna sit there and tell you to your face what I'm about to do.
Yes, and then do it.
The man gave you a whole book on what I'm gonna do
Correct.
when I get in office. And guess what? He going chapter by chapter
By chapter.
of what he's going to do.
Exactly.
Period.
And then will lie to you about what he won't do in the process. Just like Remember, he said he didn't know nothing about Project 2025.
Nothing about
it. He said that's what he said. But now, what is he doing?
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Yeah.
And that's where you know this guy is just about winning. He'll tell you anything he needs to tell you in order to win.
And that's why I go back to the whole. That's why I go back to the whole thing. Is it's easy to call a man a racist.
Yes.
You got to look at what a racist
Yeah.
is. You got if you're going to call somebody racist, you got to look at what a racist is. Now, is his base racist? They let you know we are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, people will say, what's the head Klansman? When he said the first time he spoke up for the head Klansman, and I think that's what really started the whole. Oh
Yes.
He's what's that race man?
Duke.
Yeah,
David Duke.
David Duke. But you know why he said that? Because his party
Yes.
was majority that. Once again, it's a chess game.
Correct.
It's a chess game.
And he may sound stupid, but the man
man's not stupid. It's a chess game, and what he does is he makes sure that he puts you in a place to where, prime example. Oh my God, this guy on the news said it the other day. It was priceless. He said, it was one of the senators when they was talking about RFK, when they was talking about him getting confirmed. And that guy got there and said, if this was a secret ballot, you wouldn't have had 22 votes in this house. If it was a secret ballot, because everybody know that he should not be over the health service.
Correct.
Period. He said it was a secret ballot. But why would it have to be a secret ballot? Because guess what? Trump set that thing up to where guess what? Y'all gotta run.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna run before I run again. Y'all gotta run. And I got enough crazy cuckoos who will storm your Capitol if you act crazy. They're gonna find your address to your house.
Yes.
They're gonna do all this. They know they're gonna find out where your family
not only
at.
But I got enough millionaires in my back pocket now that I can outfund you to get somebody to run against you. And my base is gonna show up.
Correct.
I don't know about yours, but my base is gonna show up.
And let me tell you something. Sister Brenda just said it, and I was coming to this, and it's so true. Now, the only person who is throwing a little wrench in his call it Trumpology.
Mm-hmm.
And Sister Brenda said he has sold his soul to Elon.
Yes.
And the spotlight's falling off of him.
Correct.
That's where they're going to fight.
Yes.
That's where they're going to fight.
Yes.
When all this runs off,
mm-hmm.
This is what you put you got a man in the Oval Office who's making vast decisions.
Yes.
Who was not conformed by nobody, voted on by nobody.
But he's running everything.
And you created a position
so that he can run everything. And get rid of everything. Now, again,
where's the conflict of interest?
Yeah.
Where's the conflict of interest? Because these same places you closing, some of these people are your competitors.
Yes. Yes.
Where do you get rid of? And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you who it's gonna hurt. The Republicans is gonna hurt, and sooner or later, listen, y'all. My church, I always tell my church all the time, I'm not a prophet. I'm not prophetic. I don't do prophetic stuff. But one thing I do, some things I think could happen. Before these 4 years over with,
yes,
it's gonna be Donald Trump versus the Republican Party.
Correct.
Because the stuff he's doing now, he didn't do this the first 4 years.
But now watch this. To show you how smart he is and how forward thinking he is in regards to controlling things.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why he's gotten as far as he has in the Republican Party is because he took it over to begin with. He placed his daughter over the RNC. Where do you think the money comes from for all these people running for senator and governor and House of Representatives?
Mm-hmm.
Where they get their money from?
Correct. And guess what? They're getting richer because guess what? That's another reason why he ain't gonna have too much to say about Elon, because guess what? Elon put a nice little part in y'all party as well.
Correct.
Come on, it flows like that. And I don't care what nobody say. When I saw Elon sitting up there, I thought about Left
In
Behind.
the Oval Office.
I thought about Left Behind. I ain't lying. I said this is the Left Behind series 8.
Right.
The one that came out yet. This is it right here. You got the president and you got the devil sitting next to him who's
basically running the interview.
with his little boy sitting on his head. He got a little boy sitting on his shoulder.
If this ain't the picture to help you understand that the figurehead is Trump,
Mm-hmm.
the brains behind the operation, the money behind the operation is Musk.
You talking about the one who threw the Hitler sign?
Yeah,
The one who,
that's him.
the boy said, who in the world waves like that?
Yeah,
Who waves like that?
yeah.
Even if the wife came out and said she didn't like having her son up there in front of those cameras.
Right. That's right.
Come on.
That'll tell you something right there too.
So we're at a place right now, and I always like to, and we're gonna get to solutions. We're going to get to solutions. I want to talk about solutions. I hate talking about problems without talking about
Solutions
solutions.
to go with it.
I feel like she said. I feel it goes deeper than that. I think they are filtering the money from the Treasury overseas. Yeah, they probably are. They probably are.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
I don't put nothing
Yes.
past
Yes.
them.
And I can tell you, whatever they're filtering overseas, there's a deposit in their pockets as well.
Oh yeah.
On the way.
Oh yeah. Definitely. When has Trump said how he got that man released yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. The one he said we should know by now.
But you know
How
he
he
ain't
will
gonna
release.
tell it all.
Come on.
You know he ain't gonna tell it all.
He's not gonna tell what his buddy, what his
he had to
A-spoon
give
come,
up in the
what his
process.
A-spoon come.
Yeah.
Nobody. Okay, let me say this. And first of all, what we're doing right now, if what continues to go on,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna be able to come on and say stuff about the president. That's
Correct.
what we're leading towards.
Correct.
He already kicking media folks out of the what you call who are not agreeing with what he's saying. They can't come into the which
Press
is where
briefing.
the press
Yes.
where they're supposed to be able to by the Constitution. You can't-
Ask questions. Yes.
and he has the power to he's kicking them out.
But
What you call it?
Not only he's carrying it down through the different agencies that he's put his people in charge of. Case in point, the Defense Department. Hegseth has kicked out a lot of the news agencies other than the ones that's sympathizing to him, so that nobody knows really what the military is doing and what they're not doing, except for the versions they want to put out there for the public to hear.
I'm sorry. Did you ever watch House of Cards?
Yes. This ain't
man,
it. Yeah,
He is House of Cards.
correct.
He's House of Cards. If those walls could talk,
Yes, they tell some stories.
they would tell some. They would tell some stories, and I think we don't know even 1% of the whole thing. But this is what we have to look at, okay? And once again, I want to get to the point of what do we
get
do?
over
How
it?
do we
Right.
the fact that him and Russia, Putin is like this.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, he don't hide that. He said he admired the man. He admired those because they're winners. He said that.
Yes.
He said he liked
Yes.
McCain because he said, well, he got caught.
Yeah.
He got caught, so he's not a
He's not a hero.
because he got caught. So he's about the winning
Winning.
thing. Look at what he's doing now.
Correct.
And if you put Putin's mentality and what Putin does
Mm-hmm.
and Trump's mentality and what he's doing, the jokers match up.
Up.
The only thing that we know so far that people ain't coming up missing. We don't know for sure if people coming up missing or not.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
Putin people came up missing. We don't know yet. Trump might have some people come. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is, them jokers they match
Up.
up. And if
And
you
he
have a
admires-
relationship with Putin,
He admires all kinds of people, and just like this president, what is it? One of Russia's counterparts. and trying to mirror how he took over his country.
Uh-huh.
And what he's doing is he's trying to get all the businesses on his side, because if you get the business on your side, that means your money is all tied up with you.
Correct.
They're all obligated to you. And this is what he's doing within the U.S. And there's no pushback to how he's going about doing it. So if we're not careful, we're going to be in the same situation as a lot of these authoritarian nations, because he's slowly working his way to where he has everything set up under his control.
And that's correct. And that's exactly what that's what he wants.
Correct.
That is what he's not hiding. That is what he's pushing for, and he's putting people in the positions to
do
where
exactly that.
Because technically, I don't see what the point is of having the Congress.
Correct. And
'Cause
that's what
what's
we're
the
headed.
point? They're not.
And
He's
here's the
making
thing.
a decision that Congress has to be involved in.
They're already making noise about amending the Constitution to where the 22nd Amendment can be amended to where he can run for a third term. Well, if he runs for a third term, how is they going to stop him from running for a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth, and then being able to?
He come in thinking about how can I run for a third time.
That's correct.
Look, Sister Brenda says, first of all, he needs to read the Constitution so
Correct.
he can know what to actually say, because he's truly clueless. Listen, Bill O'Reilly
Said that.
said that.
Yes.
He said that Donald Trump don't know about no Constitution, no tax thing, no federal thing. He don't know about none of these things.
Correct.
And the crazy part is that a lot of people voted for him because of the fact they felt that he related to them.
Correct.
They don't know nothing. He don't know nothing.
Correct.
We got somebody in office, guess what, who don't know nothing like we don't know, Joe. He don't know either. Guess what? They don't know. And guess what, dummy? You gonna be the reason why he gonna be in office. And guess what? You gonna be looking for eggs, chickens, and everything else. Because guess what? You ain't gonna have them.
Correct.
Because he don't know.
And you don't know, he don't know.
And he wants to fit. It's almost like, if it's safe to say, it's almost like a kid in school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a kid in school saying, you know what? I don't want to learn this. So guess what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
Let's just change the book.
Yeah.
I know this is supposed to be calculus. This gonna be crossword puzzle class. And guess what? Oh yeah, I'm gonna sign this in order. New is crossword puzzle class. Ain't this a good one for crossword puzzle class? That's what our curriculum gonna be. Crossword puzzle.
Yes.
And that's what's happening.
Correct.
If I work in a prison, it's so similar to when he came in office. I said this. When he came in office, this is what it looked like exactly. It was like an inmate becoming the warden and saying, you know what, warden, you fired. Officers, you're fired. Why? Because y'all lock me up. And y'all told me when to go eat. Y'all told me when to go shower. So guess what?
I'm gonna put the inmates in charge.
Y'all done. Well, we were doing our job. But no, I broke a law, but y'all supposed to leave me alone. So guess what? Now I'm in charge. Who was able to do that? Go after the people who and he said he was gonna do it.
Yes.
That man sat at the table and told him. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna." He said,
I'm going
when
out
I'm
there.
president,
Everybody came
I'm
after
firing
me.
all y'all.
Yeah.
Now normally people make threats like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they get jail time for that.
Yeah.
But or they make threats like that. People like, okay, no, this man made threats, and for sure
He's doing it.
he's going after him. And like you say, he believes in people like Putin and North Korea. He believes in people like that because to them he wants that power that
Yes.
they have.
And
That's
that
what
worship.
happens. Correct.
He wants that worship, because when you look at these authorities, they always have these parades
Uh-huh.
to where everybody has to come and salute their leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he wants.
That's
He
what he
wants
wants.
that kind of
That's what he
admiration.
wants. That's what he wants.
That's what he lives for.
Correct.
That adoration.
And some of the stuff you already get
Right.
as being president. You're gonna go to president. They gonna play Hail the Chief. The Marines gonna stand there and they're gonna salute you. That fits into his narcissistic mindset. That
Yes.
he has a perfect job for somebody who's narcissistic. Okay,
Right.
perfect job for that. Everybody waits on you hand and foot. That's just wonderful for him, right?
Right.
But it's still America.
Right.
And so there's some things that are limited. Once again, it's going to come down to Congress. Congress finally going to be like, listen, man, hold on now. We got a job to do, because guess what's going to happen? What's going to happen is it's going to be those people who are not going to vote for you.
Correct.
Because now it's going to affect them. It's going to affect this. I truly believe, and this is breaking news. I feel like, and I don't know why it just came to me, that is how we're going to get back in control. I'm sorry, because I'm not Democrat or Republican. I vote for the person, but
Right.
I believe that's how the Democrats are going to get back into position, because of what he's doing right now. Because it's going to be those Congress folks who's going to lose their jobs. Because
Correct.
guess what? It's going to affect the
Them.
Republican as well as the Democrat as well as Independent. It's going to affect every
Correct.
last one of them. He don't realize, and y'all don't realize this. And listen to me very clearly. Trump has just given us back the White House. If you just hold on, he's giving us back the White House.
Right.
Because everything he's doing right now is against the Republicans' beliefs.
Correct.
I didn't even say Democrat. I didn't even say Democrat. It goes against the Republican Party's belief.
Everything he's done.
Everything.
Since he's been declared a Republican has been against the basic principles of conservatism, which is what the Republicans are supposed to be. But when you really watch the shift since Trump came into the Republican Party, they've moved further and further away from what their basic principles were before he came into power.
Because he didn't even know what their principles. He didn't know what their principles are.
Didn't care.
He didn't care. It's about Trump principles.
It was about winning.
And they let him in. But watch this. Watch this. Minister Sue said he's already operating as a dictator, throwing everything against the wall to see what
sticks. Yeah.
what he can get by with. He doesn't care about the Constitution. He wants to tear it all down.
Correct.
And that's what he wants to do, because we tear that down, but still, we are still in America.
Correct.
Which means that people still got to get elected. People still got to vote. Okay? So, once again, these people in Senate, these people in Congress, all these folks here, they're going to have to still get voted for. And
Yes.
when it's time, what he's doing will have affected so many people that it's going to backfire. And it's going to be no more, we support
here's
you.
Here's the thing. We've got to get beyond our hurt feelings about things and start voting based on what we know and becoming informed.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that you will notice is if you're not paying attention, just like this last time, the reason why Trump won is because there's so many folk that set out as a protest not voting. And yet these same people who didn't vote now regret that they didn't vote.
Yeah.
Because that could have made the difference.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm talking about a lot of those Palestinians in Michigan that didn't think that they'd end up in the shape they're in, and he's doing all this, talking about taking over Gaza and all of that. They didn't think he'd ever go that far.
Your son tuned in.
Yeah, so,
that's
when
amazing.
when you start thinking about those things, you got to stay informed and understand what's on the table.
Correct.
And
What about the Mexicans that voted for him? The Mexicans that voted for him.
Yes, they finding out.
They finding out.
Yes, they finding out.
And
Because he
thought he was joking?
he
They thought he was
told
joking.
them
He
he
thought he
was
was
just going to go after the people
Man,
convicted of
please.
crime. Please.
No, he going after. It's not funny. They got this meme. They had this meme on TikTok. Social media is just wrong in general. They're just wrong.
Yeah, they go way too far.
Yeah, and they got this thing where it's going viral. It had a Mexican dude at the door, and I don't know if you probably saw it. It's not gonna do it. So had his ISIS at the door.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm American or something like that. He said, well, we'll decide that. We'll give you a test. And he like, oh, okay. He said, make America what? Great again. He said, who's the best female artist? Taylor Swift. He said, And so he would get all the answers. He would get all the answers right. Then finally he said, say Walmart. The man say Walmart. He said, I heard you. He said, Walmart. And they bust the door in. Social media is wrong. Social media is wrong. So,
but they got it right.
But they got it right.
They got it right.
So he's going, and then if it's not, and the news media once they feel like it's no more news.
Right.
Because you do realize they still knocking in people's doors, right? But you don't see about that on the news right now.
Right.
That's not breaking news anymore. You know what I'm saying? You saw homegirl walking around. You know,
Yes.
she walking around with ice, and that's going on as we speak. But the news media is not showing that, so it's almost like you'll think it's not happening anymore. It's still going on. They're still doing people
it.
are still hiding in their houses, not going to work or not going to the grocery store because they're scared somebody's going to get them on the way out. That's where we have come to.
Right.
But now, when you're talking about DEI,
Right.
okay, people don't realize that DEI is not just it's a whole spectrum of things.
Correct.
It's a whole spectrum of
It's
things.
not just hiring unqualified people to put in qualified positions.
No.
It goes beyond that.
It goes beyond. It goes into the school system. It goes to the special ed program. It's a plethora of things.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
just allowing somebody to come who meet your quota for a race.
Correct.
No, that's not. That's just a snippet of it.
Yes.
And people don't. You have to go and study these things and read up on these things so that you would know
The full impact of
the
it.
full impact of it. What it said right here, Donald Trump has signed. I was reading some of the things that he's done, and the very top one was he signed more than 50 executive orders since returning to the presidency in January, including enacting steep tariffs, ending birthright citizenship, curbing DEI and gender rational,
Affirming care. Yeah.
in the military, and pardoning January 6th. January 6th. Rogers. I'm sorry to him. They were January 6th. What do you call them?
Patriots.
Patriots who were hostages. We
Right.
call them hostages. They were hostages. They broke into a closed building, tore up stuff, but they were hostages.
But they became hostages because they broke the law.
But the one of the ladies who got on there said, who was one of the people got arrested? She said, yes, I broke the law. And guess what? She's hiding because people trying to get her because she stood up and said, yes, I broke the law. Yes, they were wrong. They all should be in jail. I went to jail because I broke the law. And so those are the people that he centered himself around.
That's correct.
So the question comes, I know y'all been waiting, this question comes, he said it's distraction cover up. What they really doing always has been this way with him. Correct. It is a distraction, it's a cover up. So the question is, what do we do? Okay?
Yes.
I am a big, stickler for yes. I'm an action type person. Okay.
Right.
I feel like you could talk about it all day long.
Right.
People are talking about this all day long.
But you gotta take action.
I believe if we're going to talk about it, if we're going to have dialogue about, I'm so tired of hearing the word dialogue. If we're going to dialogue about it,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But dialogue must lead to an action.
Action. Correct.
Dialogue must lead to action. Okay. So of course, first dialogue, people say, in dialogue, they'll say, hey, well, you got to make sure you get out there and you vote. Okay.
Right.
And we mentioned that. We talked about that. You
Right.
know, these people who supposed to represent you in Congress and all them people, yeah, you can put that pen to paper. It's time to vote.
Right.
It's time to, you write them. You tell them how you feel about the
Your
situation.
concern.
Your
Right.
concern. Do you know we don't do that?
Yes.
We
Yes.
got representatives that we don't do that.
Absolutely.
They're there for a reason.
Yes.
To represent, and I really don't think people understand that those senators and those they are there as your representative.
Yes, that's your voice.
It says it in the beginning, Representative so and so.
Right.
They're there to represent you, not to go on their own political agenda.
Correct.
And that's what's happening.
Correct.
So you let your representatives know that, hey, we need you to do whatever you got to do up there to fight, because these are the issues that we have.
Correct.
One bullet point after bullet point. These are issues that we have.
Correct.
And it's not a threat, it's a promise. If you can't assist us with this, We'll show you how we feel at the ballot box.
Correct.
Now, that,
And
go ahead.
Here's the other thing. Pay attention to your local and state elections.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the biggest things that hurts communities is this thing called gerrymandering.
Tell us, what's that?
And what gerrymandering is, whoever wins the state legislature
Mm-hmm.
gets to draw up the voting maps for every state, and they can shape it how they want to. They can take a slice of a Democratic community
Uh-huh.
and diminish the number of people in that community by lumping it in with a more conservative community,
Mm-hmm.
which takes away that Democratic voice.
Which is similar to what people like Rodney Howard did to fix the voting map so that we could have
Correct.
representatives
Correct.
in our area. Once again, and I don't think we don't pay attention to. We don't pay attention to
Correct.
the local area. We always think about. We just look at the president and
Right.
if
We
If
at
we
the
vote
national,
now.
yeah. If we look at the national level, that's all we really think about.
correct,
And that's the
correct.
problem.
Yeah.
Because we've got to be engaged not only in our national elections, but you definitely got to be involved in your state and local elections.
Correct.
Because that's the foundation of what
Correct.
you get at the national level.
Correct.
So if we could take gerrymandering out the picture and force more independent communities, then we get a better representation of the country as a whole.
Mm.
Because what ends up happening when you can shape the voting to where only one side can win a majority of the representative seats
Uh-huh.
based on how the gerrymandered districts are set up,
Mm.
you end up diluting the voice of the opposing side, and that's how people end up with more representation on one side than they do the other.
Mm.
And that's one of the things that gerrymandering has got us. And I really wish that that had never come to pass. But what conservatives did back in the 70s is they came up with this idea
Mm-hmm.
that, well, if we can shape districts to where we can stay in power,
Mm.
then we can stay in control of everything.
Yeah.
That's where gerrymandering came in. That came in, it actually in the early 70s.
Mm.
And so because I think it started in like Alabama or someplace like that.
Sound about
Because
right.
you do know some of
Right.
these states have a predominantly black population,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have a lot of black
Representative.
voices
Mm-hmm.
in represented
Yeah.
in their representation.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because of gerrymandering.
Mm.
They were able to slice up a lot of these areas to where they could diminish the voice of some.
If they did vote, the numbers didn't really
Yes.
matter because they were outnumbered in however it go anyway.
And that's why we got to stay informed. We got to know these people's positions and what they stand for, and then make sure that they're ones that are representing you,
Correct.
not just
Correct.
representing an ideology.
Correct.
That makes a difference.
And that's definitely what a lot is going on, is that it is an ideology. That's what a lot of people are voting on. But I really truly feel like what's going on right now
Mm-hmm.
is going to throw all that stuff out. I'm going to tell you why. Because once again, the Republican Party used to be this.
Yes, it was about small government
Correct.
and more fiscal responsibility. But if you really watch what he's doing,
Who's controlled?
yeah, and now watch this, because they are talking about having to raise the debt limit now,
Mm-hmm.
which means what? More debt, more spending. And if you were talking about cutting spending,
Hey, that's oxymoronic. That's oxymoron. That's literally oxymoron.
yeah,
You can't.
Yes.
You can't have a lord and then have to and to get done what he's and that's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. So you got Elon Musk there to see where we can save money,
mm-hmm.
but he's taking away key things that going to affect us on the back end. Like I don't.
Correct.
I don't. I don't get that.
Correct.
I really don't get that. But like you said, to fix some of these problems, like where do we start? How do we fix these things? Like you said, Gerrymander. We have to know what our representatives' beliefs are,
Yes.
and not
Yes.
just. It's another thing, not just what you're gonna tell me.
Right.
Don't tell me what I want to hear, because they'll tell you, well, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that.
And quit voting just because party.
Yeah. Oh man.
Vote because of the person,
Correct.
not
Correct.
the party.
Yeah.
Understand what they stand for, what they believe in, and what their personality really represents.
Correct.
So you really got to you really got to do your research, get to know people and what they stand for.
I've never voted. I since I could vote, I've never voted party.
Yeah.
I've never voted party. I've always voted for the person. If it was on the other side of the house, on the other side of the house. But I always voted for the person. Like,
Correct.
Like, seriously, I voted for
Yeah.
the person.
That's the best way to approach voting.
Yeah. And so we have to make sure we know what our representatives represent. And when we're looking at stuff like DEI,
Mm-hmm.
and we're looking at these, and I'm going to say this, we look at these major companies
Yes.
who were the first one to lead the pack, and one thing I would say about our forefathers, those who came before us,
Mm-hmm.
and some during us they prime example, boycott the
Yes,
bus,
they did.
the bus. What they did,
Yes. Boycott.
they sometimes you're gonna have to be uncomfortable for a little bit
Correct.
to get your voice heard.
Correct.
They didn't ride the bus. Yeah, sister had them heels on trying to walk, but they
Yes.
didn't ride the bus. And who lost money? See, the money is it.
Yes. That's
Money is it.
the world still goes
Dude.
around the money.
Money is it.
Yes.
And so you have to hit them in the pockets. And you know who they listening to? Them same billionaires who was sitting up there with him. Amazon was sitting right there with him.
Correct.
Walmart led the pack in when they did. Okay, yeah, sure. We let's get rid of it.
Yes.
These companies led the pack. Do you know there were stores before Walmart?
Yes. Yes.
There were stores before Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There were places
Yes.
before Amazon. I mean, there were places. And so we have to do our homework. Okay, who's not supporting this? Who's not backing this up? You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And somebody said one time that even if you don't want to do it for a long time, everybody need to agree on one day.
Correct.
On this, because do you know one day hurts.
Yes. Yes.
It hurts a Dow Jones. One day
Yes.
hurts the trading.
Yes.
And you telling me on I don't know, on June 1st, no one's gonna go to Walmart. No one's shopping.
To show the evidence on that, the first time Trump came out with these tariffs and the market dropped, you know what he did, don't you? He put a freeze on these tariffs until the market went back up. So don't tell me what money won't do.
So we have to do our homework on, okay, who So the Brenda said he wants to weaken our government and our military to leave us defenseless. February 28th, 2025. February 28th, 2025 has been the set date. Do not buy anything. February 28th. It's
Yes.
already out there. February 28th,
Yes.
2025.
Make your voice heard.
2025. Don't buy
Hold your dollars.
anything. Hold
Hold your dollars.
You can hold that dollar for a day. Hold, and it's gonna, and they'll feel it. They'll feel it.
Yes.
And those people, because listen, that's another thing. Now, who does Trump listen to? The billionaires that's around him.
Correct.
The billionaires that are around him, and that's crazy. The one he said he represents, the middle class.
Yes.
No, he don't listen to y'all.
Yeah, he ain't listening.
He listens to them billionaires, and he ones down here that's running around, and really they just the hitmen. They just the hit folks. They're literally just the hitmen.
Yes.
That's what they do. Their job is to go out there and tag carb and do crazy stuff. They do the dirty work
Yes.
while them up there try to make stuff to where he can be what you call.
Now watch this too. You know the reason why he listens to billionaires? Because he wants to be one.
He wants to be one.
He wants to be one.
He done forged his stuff. Don't tell him how much money he parted. He done forged all his income, to make him look richer than he is. Because once again,
Yes.
that's that narcissistic. That's that narcissistic.
Yes.
And that's why
Yes.
part of him just jealous of Elon Musk. Part of him just jealous of Elon Musk.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
man,
That's why he wants him right there with him.
right there with him.
Yeah.
Right there with him. So I can feel like I got control of you, but technically, You really,
Yeah. You just financing me. Yeah.
you're financing me, and I really truly believe so. We have to, as a people, and this is across the line as people. Period. We have to find ways to make our voice, and it starts at your local. It starts locally.
Right.
It starts locally. People might not know you in the White House, but it starts locally with your representative. Now, they did have they had those representatives who was trying to get into the what building they were trying to get into. Walters.
Yeah.
Maxine.
Yeah, Maxine
She was
Waters.
standing there trying to get in, and the dude was standing there.
FCC.
She had that finger. She was letting. I don't know what she was. I don't know what she was saying, but she was letting that joker have it. Like,
Yes.
and I know he was like, I wish I could be anywhere else
But here.
than right here, right now. So she put her finger in my face one more time. Sister wasn't playing.
If it wasn't the camera here, I'd bite it.
But that is what you have to see from your representatives.
Correct.
The Democrat Party has been quiet too doggone long.
Too long.
Too doggone long. It's almost like, okay, he done built the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all ready to go protest the ship? The ship was being built. This should have been going.
You should have been protesting way before then.
When they was getting tire together, when they was
Yes.
putting the tire on, you should have been protesting. When they was thinking about, you should have been. The man said exactly what he was going to do.
But you focused on too many small items instead of the broad picture.
There you go. And that somebody said the other day, they said that they need to start oh gosh, but I think it was a Democrat. It was a Democrat. It was a guy on news, and he was saying that they need to start paying attention to what social media was saying, but the people saying on social media. So they need to, because where they said the Republican was doing, how the Republican got it was, they were listening to what the folks were actually saying. Although they wasn't going to do it, they knew exactly what to promise.
Yes.
What did Trump come in and do? Trump come in and
Making
he
all
said,
kinds of promises.
and he set it up so perfect with TikTok. He set that joker up.
Perfectly.
He set that joker up. TikTok
Perfectly.
is shutting down. He comes in. I'm the TikTok savior. Ah. And then they get on there. The first thing they do is put on there, we want to thank President Trump for, I don't think he was in the office yet.
Yeah.
And it was thanking him for getting TikTok back going again.
Right.
And people are like, oh, thank you so much. But once again, I don't care how much they love what he did to get in. He's going to shoot himself in the doggone foot.
Every time.
He going to shoot himself in the foot. Like,
Every
what,
time.
the fact that we almost done, the fact of the craziness that he's doing,
Yes.
it's not little. It's never been
it's
seen
big.
before.
And these
the
things
way he likes
will
to do it.
last.
He likes it big.
Yes.
And that's
But
what's going to get him.
These things are long-term effects, though. That's the thing we got to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while to get out of this.
Whoever
stuff.
comes after him,
Yes.
they're
got
going to
some
have a
work.
lot to. Man, they're going to have to change the Gulf of Mexico back.
Correct.
Who goes to the White House and like, hey, okay, my first order, we need to change it back to Gulf of Mexico, because the one before me changed it to Gulf of America. Can I ask you a question? What? Okay, maybe somebody can tell me. Y'all, those who still tuning, maybe y'all can tell me. What was the purpose?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Please tell me why. Why?
What? Who
You're-
benefited from
you're-
that? Who benefited from that name change?
Maybe that's what I'm asking. Maybe. See, you know what? I have my brother on here because he tends to know how to word stuff better. Maybe that's what I'm asking. Who benefited?
From that.
Okay, you've traveled the world. This guy has traveled. Y'all listen to me. He has traveled the world. I still think he worked. I still think he worked secret something. He can't tell us. Brother Moffitt, I think he's still on. He'll agree with me that I think he worked Secret Service or something like that. We always say he was confidential. He couldn't tell us.
G14 classified.
Yeah, he straight G4 classified. But what's the point of Greenland? Can you tell me about Greenland? What's the point of us getting trying to write a check for Greenland?
There was you got two bases there. You had Thule in the northern portion of Greenland. Then you had Sunderstrom, which was the Air Force base, the southern part of Greenland.
Okay.
And these bases were important because they were strategic bases for us to get information, because they both had the ability to hear what was going on, not only in Europe, but they were centered enough to where they could also know what was going on in Russia,
Wow.
and we could transport military from Greenland into Europe if we needed to, or if we needed to go the other way,
Yeah.
we could have forces going toward Russia in a hurry from those bases too. So those are two strategic bases that we had, even though they finally turned Sunderstrom over to Greenland Home Rule. So that Air Force base is no longer active, but that base runway is still there if we need it. And because of our agreement with Denmark, if push came to shove and we need to put fighter jets and all that back there, they do have a hangar there and a runway that jets could use in the event that we ever get into a conflict to where we need to strategically put aircraft, both fighter jets and cargo jumbo carriers.
In Greenland.
Yes.
So his goal is to
Acquire. He wanted
it.
to acquire Greenland so we could just take control, and not only for the military positioning, but also because he's looking to invest money there that his family can glean from. He just don't want the bases. He wants the land. Because there's some money to be made there, because there's still minerals there.
Everything you're telling me, it always ends with him.
Yes.
Something he can have. That he can have. I mean, nothing you say. It always ends with what he can have.
The acquisition part of it is him as president acquiring things that, like McKinley did when he was president.
Yeah.
You know, because he was part of the Louisiana Purchase and all of that, of gaining property and territory and things like. He wants to be on that level to where he's remembered for all these acquisitions that he was able to get. That's what he wants to be. That way he can make sure that his face is on Mount Rushmore when all his years of being in public service are all said and done. That's what he's after. That recognition for being able to do things that nobody else in this modern time or modern era has done.
Can I be honest with you? Did you notice his slogan went from "Made America Great Again" to "Make America Rich Again"? Yeah, definitely. Brenda,
So true. So true.
Yeah, no, but that is so true. That is so true. But I will say this, and I'm going to say this, is that I have yet to see one person not fall who goes that high up. I've yet to see, other than the King of Kings, I've yet to see a kingdom that did not collapse.
But I also think that, just like the House of Cards, people who buy into coming into this administration without understanding the ramifications that go along with it will be in the same shape that a lot of those people were in when he lost the first time.
Yeah.
You know, people end up going to jail because he lied to them to begin with.
Let me tell you something.
And it's going to happen again.
Exactly, it's going to happen again. And I think it's going to be on a wider scale this time. Because, and I'm going to tell you somebody, if they don't watch themselves, they're going to be one of them. I don't care how much money you got, Elon. I don't care how much money you got.
That's correct.
I don't care how much money you got. When it's all said and done, and Trump can't pardon you.
Yes. Yeah.
When it's all said and done, he might not get a sale, but you can get one.
Yeah.
But people have not learned that.
No.
They have not figured that out. What else does this man have to do to show you he has no loyalty to nobody but him?
Nobody. And
nobody but him.
He's a transactional kind of guy.
Nothing is free.
Nothing comes free.
No.
You got to give up something. Now, the one thing I will say is the sad reality, too many people have given up their integrity.
Oh, yeah.
For power.
Yeah.
And that's a sad reality, but that's the truth.
And I can't say he did. Because you got to have integrity from the get-go.
Yes. Yeah, but
He had it from the get-go.
you got to be willing to hold on to your integrity. In other words, don't sell yourself out just to get in a position.
Okay, and so these things this stuff that we're talking about tonight, y'all. Listen, it's things. I mean, majority of stuff y'all already know, and of course, the great mind here has given us some information and some more things that I definitely did not know about, because I was really wondering about Greenland. What in the world?
Yes.
The whole issue regarding Greenland. I know you travel the world, so you know these things, whatever.
I actually had the fortunate privilege of going to Sunderstrom.
See,
I actually went there.
I thought I was joking.
So I knew about the base there.
You can't tell us all of it, can you?
I can't tell you all of it,
See,
but I can tell you enough. Yeah, so I was able to go to Sunderstrom, so I know about the base there, but also because I was there, understood that Thule was further north.
Okay.
Which is where a lot of the cargo planes are stationed in case they need to move equipment. So those bases, and there's more there than what I can tell you, but there's a lot
I told y'all.
going into this.
You tell us the wrong thing, all the cameras start cutting off, and the people in black start knocking on the door trying to get in here.
Yeah, helicopters start
I'm like,
flying
hey,
around.
listen. We already taking a chance talking about Trump, but my concern is, you know, like I tell people all the time. I said, I mean this when I say this. I don't fear what's going on.
Correct.
Because I have, and this is not something trying to sound spiritual or super holy or, oh my God. No, I don't fear it, because once again, my God, he does supply. I know the scripture, he literally does supply all of my needs, according to his riches and glory. Not Trump's riches, but his riches and glory. So this whole thing, whatever Trump is trying to do, listen, I told the church Sunday, I said,
don't be
you
discouraged.
all will not go without. And I said it. I said, you all will not go without. And I had to say it again. I said, you all will not go without. I don't care what you got going on. You all will not go without. I said, I need y'all to be convinced of that.
Yes, and spiritually, we've got to be strong enough to understand that.
Correct.
Because that's a requisite of having faith.
Correct.
Because the Bible says that faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Yes.
The evidence of things not seen.
Correct.
So that means even if he's doing all this crazy stuff, you have someone above him that's going to look out for you. That's why Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16 says, I can go boldly to the throne of grace and obtain mercy in my time of need. So I don't get stressed out about the stuff that he's doing.
Come on,
because I know I got
you just had to get some preaching in.
Yes, I did.
You just had to. You just
I
had.
can't help it. You know better than to give.
You just had to give some preaching in. Boy, I tell you, you can't take a preacher. No, when we sit here venting, you got to preach on it. But people understand that even God provided manna to Israel.
Yes,
He provided manna, and manna simply means, what is this? He didn't have a name for it. And I truly believe that God provided manna for them to get them through. God can provide everything we need to get us through. No matter who's in that White House, or literally who's standing next to the man in the White House who's trying to run everything. If your job gets shut down tomorrow, guess what God gonna do?
He gonna provide.
Come on, He gonna provide you another job.
That's why we know Him as Jehovah Jireh.
Come on, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yes.
And we have to. And I truly believe, like I tell people all the time, I said, you know, this did not catch God off guard.
Right.
This is not. This could have been prevented.
Yes.
Right. I told the church. This is what I told the church. I said, this is so crazy how God will put us in a position to where you're going to see His work. You're going to see it's going to get to the point where it's nothing but God. You ain't able to say it's nobody but God. I said, normally when people get in office, you got maybe the president you might not like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but guess what? He still need to send it to Congress. He can't just make up decisions.
Yeah.
You still got Senate. You still got a Congress. You got to go Congress. You got to go to Senate. You still got some. That's a change, right? I said, but God made it to where He got the presidency, the Congress, the Senate, the Supreme Court, everything He got.
Right.
Now watch what I do.
Yes.
Watch what I do.
Yes.
Watch what I do. And this Republican said it one time. This guy, I know he's a Republican. You know what he said?
What?
He said, if something does not work this time, He said, we have nobody to blame but ourselves.
Correct.
I said, no wiser words of spoken. You were correct.
Yes.
You can't blame nobody but y'all, because y'all got literally, y'all got everything.
But here's the thing, and this is why I kept our people encouraged. I said, every once in a while, God has to send us a Pharaoh to get us back on our knees.
Put New Fellowship in so they can sit it, so they can tell you I said that. Yes. Yes. He got us in it for you to realize. I told him, matter of fact, that's exactly what I told him. So I said, because it looks like Pharaoh died on this side and resurrected on the other side of the Red Sea. He resurrected again on the other side of the Red Sea.
He's back.
I'm back. You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the thing about it is, he left. He was there 4 years. He left 4 years.
Right.
He came back for. But you know, the only thing that was consistent in those 4 years, and in the 4 years abiding the 4 years with him now, God never changed.
Yes. He's still the same.
He
He's
never
still-
changed.
And he said he would be.
So I want, tonight, we just want y'all to be encouraged. We literally
Correct.
just want y'all to be encouraged.
Despite how
because
things seem.
despite how it goes, and I told him, don't lose your patience.
Correct.
This is what the enemy wants. The one thing, this is one thing that we learn in history with segregation and things like that. The enemy always wants to separate. He wants to bring a division.
Correct.
It's like the pride land. You know, if the hyenas can get that willow beast, break off from
Yes.
that one, then I can attack that
Yes.
one, and then you know what I'm saying.
And
But
you know what they always go for? They
yeah,
always go for the young and the weak.
correct. And so we have to stick together.
Correct.
Number one, we have to stick together. Trust that one who's leading that pack, which is our God, the one who's leading that pack. Trust him and know that as long as we stay together, we have to stay together. And what I truly believe, Ms. Sue said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken yet. Ms. Sue, don't you start.
Yes.
She said, I've never seen the righteous
it's
forsaken.
seed,
No,
begging bread. I know you're right.
See, I got to preach over here. Y'all always want to preach. Y'all make
we
me
gotta
shout.
get that in there.
Y'all gonna make
Gotta
me
get that
shout
in there.
that. And so we have to make sure that we stay together.
Yes.
And I believe this. I truly believe this. And I want y'all to look back on this, especially on the podcast. Look back on this later on and see if I lied. I truly believe that if we stay together,
Mm-hmm.
that side is going to break apart.
Yes.
That side is going to listen. I'm
Yes.
telling y'all, it's going to break apart.
It's already doing it.
It's already doing it.
It's already doing it.
It's already doing it. When Mitch said, "No,
I'm done." Yeah.
I said that tells me that y'all about to start breaking.
Yes.
Because sooner or later, like I said, it's going to touch those who we have put in office, and they're going to look like, man, listen, man, I cannot.
As far as I go.
As far as
Yeah.
I can go. This is as far as I can go. Because one thing I will say about America believe in protest.
Yes. Yes.
America believe in showing up at your. They're gonna be out at your house protesting. They're gonna believe in Houston. The Mexican
Yes.
community was all across.
Yes. L.A. too.
Come on. So
Shut
this
down
ain't Russia.
Shut down the highway.
This ain't Russia. This ain't no. We still got protection. We gonna
yeah,
protest.
we get out there. We get out there.
So like we were told, February 28th.
Hold your dollars.
Hold your dollars.
Hold
February 28th,
your
hold your dollars. And then after February 28th, we got to continue to come together and figure out what's the next
Yes.
step.
Yes.
Because as long as they feel it, then they know you're here.
Correct.
If you don't say something, or they say closed mouth don't get fed.
Yes.
If you don't say something, people think, okay, they done gave up. They good to go. No.
Stand
Just
on your
stay on your principles. And this is what I also charge. I charge leaders in the community.
Yes.
You know, it's easy being behind that pulpit. Oh God, you know what I'm saying? And we don't want to break away because we feel like, okay, if I say something, is anybody gonna say something with me? You know,
Right.
is somebody else gonna say something? Everybody waiting for that person to say something. But right is right. This is not a Republican Democrat thing, and that's the
Yes.
and that's what
Yes.
it's not. Listen, y'all. Listen to me. I want y'all. If Jay Talk, y'all watch it. Y'all on Facebook. Listen to this. And I want to say this in the beginning. It's not. Hear me. It is not a Democrat
Or
Republican thing. It's not a white, black, Mexican. It's not a race thing.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
It is a moral thing.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
moral constitution thing that's being affected.
And listen, quit trying to
Period.
put everything into an ideology.
It's,
There are
Come on.
saved Democrats,
Come
saved
on.
Republicans,
Come
saved
on.
independents.
Yes.
Quit looking at everything from the mirror of an ideology.
Yes. Yes.
Look at it from the right, the wrong
I
of
think
it.
I'm posting it tonight. I think I'm posting on Facebook tonight. It's not a white, black, Republican, Democrat. It's a moral constitution
thing. Yeah.
thing. The Constitution of America, and I think it's what people are not understanding.
Correct.
The Constitution of America is what's getting attacked.
Yes. And here's the thing.
Not black, not white, not. It's
And
the
what we have to-
Constitution.
And what we have to be mindful of, we got to make sure that people who we elect are constitutional minded.
Correct.
Because the Constitution really is a framework.
Yes.
It wasn't written, and it was perfect when it was written. That's why
Correct.
you got all these amendments.
Correct.
So understand the person that you're voting for, whether they are constitutional minded and whether they really believe in it,
Yeah.
and make sure they know what it is. First of all,
That's what one of the Republicans said. He said, "Listen, take it back. It was a Democrat. He said it's not that we don't agree with some of the things, but there's a way to do it.
Yes.
You are leaving us out of I'm talking about not Democrat. You're leaving the Congress
Out of it.
out of it." And the
Correct.
Constitution specifically
Requires us to be a
says
part of
we
it.
have to be a part of for checks and balances. We have to be a part of it. And Donald Trump is saying I think y'all gonna take too long. I need
Right.
this done today.
And here's the thing.
Because he operates on emotion.
Right.
He's
And he
emotional
also
minded.
operates on the idea that let me just throw everything at you and see what sticks.
And that's what Minnesota. Yes, whatever. And listen to y'all. He knows that he can't do these things.
Yes. But
There-
he's gonna try it.
Understand, there are people around him. He know he can't do it. But if I throw it and y'all don't say anything about it, then
It might get by with it.
It might get by with it.
Yes.
And if he get one little inkling that he can get away with it,
He's gonna do it again.
he's gonna do it again.
Correct.
Okay, let me see now. Now I pinch you. Okay, cool. Now let me push you. I push you. Okay. Now let me punch you. Let me see how far I can get with. No, you should have.
Before you react.
No, you should have punched back at the pinch.
Yes.
Pinch should have got you knocked out. Point blank.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple. Ain't that right, Sanders? Pinch should. I got my coworker here, Sanders. She ain't got no sense at all. Yeah, she should punch somebody for real. But that should have got it done then, and that's what he's
Right.
trying to do. So we have to see where, once again, get away from color, get away from. Okay, you think he racist? That's your business. Get away from all of that right now.
Right.
We got to go and try to save the Constitution of the United States of America.
Yes. Be proactive instead of reactive.
Correct.
Get ahead of it. And that's the thing. Be informed. Understand what the Constitution says and how it says it. Because what he's doing is, because we are uninformed, we're getting more uninformed as a nation. Because remember, growing up in school, they had constitutional classes.
Correct.
And now you don't hear about that too much.
Correct.
So because we've gotten so far away from really reading and understanding things,
Yeah.
we are basically ignorant
Correct.
to a lot
Correct.
of things. And when you become ignorant to some things, it's easy to be gotten over on
Yeah.
because you just don't know.
You don't know, and you don't.
And so
yeah,
you
fall
don't know
for
how
lack
to
of knowledge.
You don't know how to fight against it.
Correct. You fall for lack of knowledge. I mean,
That's correct.
Point blank.
Correct.
Well, we definitely have a lot of work to do, and I think that these next 4 years is I don't think people are going to be silent, because I will say this about the Republican Party,
Mm-hmm.
and the only reason I keep saying Republican Party is because that technically is who he's running. That's
who
the
he's running
banner
as.
he's running under. Okay,
Right.
But the one thing they hate, and I'm going to use the word hate,
Mhm.
and have hated, Republican and Democrat, and anybody else in America, it's Russia.
Correct.
Period. And they just gonna let you be kiki with him so long, you know, and that's what he's doing right now. That's
Right.
his buddy. That's his
Right.
buddy. And so, and he's showing you that's his buddy.
Right.
It's going to come out what you're offering
Yes.
and what are we willing to pay to Russia. Putin,
And to show you how it's already falling apart, because Hegseth said
Mhm.
that Russia we're not going to put any troops over there, and they're not going to be part of peacekeeping and all that. So that already tells you that this idea that he's going to be buddy with Russia, that's what he's after. He wants to have that same kind of authority, power.
Yeah.
And he's putting people in place to do just
To do that.
So we've got to be mindful and understand. And this is why I say, understand where your elected officials, what position, what their stance.
What they stand for. And people always, and they said this already, is that people know how. These leaders
know how.
They know how. They know exactly. Well, we know they know exactly how you get Donald Trump. You tell him he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Correct.
And guess what? You can get what you want.
Yes.
As long as you can, man. And I'm gonna tell you one thing I've learned. I've did some things about look some things about Putin. One thing, Putin ain't dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a strategist.
Correct.
And someone told him the first term of Donald Trump, tell him he's good.
Yeah, tell him he's great.
Make him think it's his decision.
Correct.
And you get whatever you want.
You know, Putin was a former KGB officer.
Correct.
So he knows.
Correct. And you know Trump.
He knows manipulation.
And you know Trump was a former playboy.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So you know.
So who got the heads up?
Yeah.
Who got the heads up? Who got the heads up?
And I'd be willing to bet Putin got something on him.
Oh, come on. Nobody with their right mind, if you've ever had an American flag, likes Putin. Period.
Correct.
Period. But now y'all cool like that. So like we say all the time, like we've said before, and we're done. But like we said before, make sure you look at your officials. Make sure you vote. But right now, we're at the point where make sure that you're not quiet.
Correct.
Don't stay quiet. This is not the time to be quiet. Get with your people. Get with your churches. Get with whoever.
Make your voice heard.
February 28th, we said February 28th, don't buy nothing. Get your gas on the 27th. Get your groceries on the 27th, 26th. Act like it's the Armageddon. Get your stuff together. Snowmageddon. Get your stuff together. February 28th, don't buy a living thing. Don't buy nothing.
Right.
And if
make them feel you.
Make them feel you. And like I say, if you're not going to say something, you are part of the problem.
Correct.
If you're not going to say anything, you're part of the problem. Sitting on the couch watching MSNBC or CNN or Fox News, whatever you watch,
or fussing at the TV,
or fussing at the TV, or even fussing with each other, is not going to do it. This tonight was just to give you an awareness and a dialogue that we have things that are going on
that we need to be.
And once again, let me say this again.
Be paying attention to it.
Let me say this again. We're not fighting against Republicans. Democrat against Republican or Republican against Democrat. We're not fighting against white against black and black against white and white against Latino. No, we are fighting to save literally the Constitution of the United States. If you don't know, listen to me. If you don't know what the Constitution of the United States is, Google is a great source that you just type in Constitution, U.S. Constitution. And you will see exactly. It's going to mess your mind up because you're going to see exactly what's being taken away straight off the pages.
And also, can't leave it without bringing some spirituality into it as well. Listen, it's about morality.
Morality.
And everything that the Bible tells us, whatever we do, it's got to be done with compassion.
Correct.
And you can't take whatever your issues are out on somebody that is less than you because you can.
Correct.
You got to have some compassion. You got to have some mercy. You got to have some grace.
Correct.
So understand this. More than the ideology of things, understand there's a right and a wrong way to do everything.
Correct. Yes.
Even if you're right, you can do it the wrong way.
Correct.
And so even if you are for legal migration, that's good. But you don't oppress those who are looking for a better life because they came in the wrong way. You can still do things the right way. Show them some compassion.
Correct.
Show them some grace and mercy. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, what would you expect?
Correct.
Or what would you hope for?
That's true.
And we've got to be mindful of these things and how we operate as a nation, as a people. We've got to be mindful of those things.
Once again, just showing love, man.
Correct.
Showing love, dude. Literally showing love. And the only thing that beats love, the only thing that beats hate is love. The only thing that beats darkness is light.
Correct.
You know, I know we're seeing them addressed in the same place. What beats darkness is light. And I think that as a people, we can definitely do that if you want to. We can. And let's do that together, y'all. Hey, y'all, listen. That is us, y'all.
Great
That is
talk.
us. Man.
Great talk. Great
Man.
talk.
Horseman, we did that tonight.
Yes.
Hey, y'all, listen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Once again, this is J Talk Podcast, Real Talk, Real People. You have been in the cafe. Thank y'all for our Facebook people. Thank you for our Facebook people who's tuned in, being with us the whole time. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And thank y'all so much as well. You will get this in its entirety as well, and we thank y'all so much. Once again, take what you've heard tonight. Hey, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. If you're on Facebook right now, go to Cafe Talk-65. Cafe Talk-65. You can see other content that's taking place, and you will also be able to see this as well. This will be put on there as well sometime tomorrow. So I'll look into that as well. And we just talk real on here.
Yes.
Two preachers, we just talk real about real life stuff. And the only way we can get stuff done is bringing it to your attention, right? Bring it to your attention. So, Pops,
man, it's been fun.
it's been fun.
It's been
fun.
Looking forward to
Man,
doing it
can't wait till the next time. Y'all,
Yes.
once again, we're in the cafe. Keep you something to drink. Keep you, Sanders, if you on, I'm not talking about you when I say keep you something to drink. Keep you something to drink. Keep you something to drink. And we'll see you again in
next
the
time.
cafe. Until next time, peace. We love you.
J Talk Podcast. Welcome to the cafe.
Real talk. Real people. Real situation.